Hey everybody, welcome to the pilot episode of my new series, Nashville Guitar Stories. Today it's my great pleasure to introduce Grace Potter guitarist Ricky Dover Jr. Not only is he the absolute embodiment of the iconic rock guitar slinger, but he's a great guy, the very model of a soft-spoken Southern gentleman, and one of my all-around favorite people in Nashville. Without any further ado, let's get into it. I'm really pleased to have Ricky Dover Jr. here with me in the studio. I've got my little book of questions. I feel like a psychiatrist.
Yeah, shoot. I need it. Need some therapy. Guitar therapy.
Where are you from, first of all?
I'm from Knoxville, East Tennessee, and
Right
I
on.
was born down in Houston, Texas. My parents met down in Houston. And
Awesome.
I have an older sister, a younger sister. My older sister was born in Houston as well, and we actually moved to San Diego for a little bit, and my younger sister was born there, but by the early 90s, I think 91, we moved to Knoxville, and I actually grew up in the same house that my dad grew up in, and so it was just my grandma there, and my great-grandmother was a piano teacher down in West Palm Beach in Florida. So kind of fast forward a couple of years, she passed, and then we inherited her piano. And so then this, baby grand piano came into our lives, and I wasn't that great at sports and needed something to do. And my mom played piano a little bit, and so she eventually arranged for some piano lessons at our house, and it just kind of stuck with me because it was not going to be video games, so I needed to do some other outlet if I couldn't do sports. So music just kind of came in that way.
And it runs in the family, I guess.
It did a little bit, yeah.
Because your grandmother, and you said your father was a guitar player too,
Yeah, my
right?
dad tried to learn when I was beginning to start playing guitar exactly. And so, in fact, that's where this guitar came from. So this is a 1997 58 reissue. And the funny thing about this one was, it was brand new, mint. I think we got this in 99. I remember being so excited to open the case. I didn't know there's a latch on the other side. I almost literally broke the case off in half opening it for the first time. And so this one, I mean, I would wash my hands before I played it and afterwards, and just immediately put it back in the case and smell it, and gets kind of lost that smell now. But
and it does
through
acquire a
these-
patina. After a while, you kind of forget about washing your hands. And
Yeah, exactly. And really, it was
it
just
picks up some funk.
and it was just kind of the more reliable one. Guitars that I had, and it's been great. I've definitely modded it out. I've got a push-pull system in here to kind of, and I've
let's
kind of
hear
made it a Peter Green style one. So it's
Is
kinda,
it? Is one of the pickups out of phase?
Yeah, so I can pull
wicked.
the pull this middle or this neck pickup out of phase,
Wicked.
and put new tuners on there, and
These are great guitars.
it's awesome. Yeah, they are. Yeah, the '90s Gibsons are really great. I think it's kind of part of that, what they now refer to as the Goodwood years. I mean, hell, I didn't know that at the time. It was just what was in our lives.
Well,
what
that's
was in.
good wood. That's
Yeah.
a beautiful top.
Yeah, thank you. So it's got a cool, nice thing there, and it's funny though because these 58, the neck pickup was supposedly, this bridge pickup was in the wrong place slightly by a couple millimeters or something.
Interesting.
This one did not come with the original guard on it, but I've since someone on Instagram reached out to me and was like, the original guard, if you can always tell what's these kind of late mid 90s 58 and Gibsons, you can tell it from across the room because there'll be a little gap in the pick guard right here. But I guess this bridge pickup was in the wrong place or something, but because they were replicating the pick guard. But I mean, it sounds great to me. So put some Black Cat guitar pickups in here, and got a push pull to knock this one out of phase. But
Let's hear it. Let's hear the out of phase thing. I mean, yeah, there it is. Sweet. Woo!
so that honky.
Man, that is sweet. Yeah, but it isn't like piercing out of phase. It's still kind of sweet.
Yeah,
It's
just
really
gotta
kind of
get that
sweet and
pedigree in
talky.
there.
Man.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Super
So you can
sweet.
kind of get that really jangly, tone.
And it is good wood. I can even tell from the tap tone, just when you like knock on the top, even from I mean, this is real guitar geek stuff, but even from the tap tone, I can tell that it's really resonant and
Thanks,
woody.
man. Feels the same tune.
Yeah, that's the classic.
Yeah, thank
G
you.
for Gibson. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. My parents had a timeshare down in Florida, and my dad found this guitar online. He ended up talking to the guy that had it, and ended up trading him, I think, about 2 weeks of timeshare down in Florida, plus some cash for the guitar, and it came in the mail.
Whatever it takes, man.
Yeah, so, but man, there
You
wasn't
find a good one, you got to hold on to it.
Yeah, there wasn't a scratch on this thing, so this has all been honest wear and tear. And did have it refretted a couple years ago. My friend Elliot in East Nashville, and did a great job. And a couple mods later, and yeah, just kind of my version of a Greeny.
Nice.
Still not even mismatched, knobs on there, but hey, just all honest wear.
It's character.
Character.
It's all character.
Character. So
Cool.
Yeah, thanks, man.
So you moved to Nashville when?
I started going to MTSU in 2008. I transferred from University of Tennessee in Knoxville, and was getting into the art program there in Knoxville, and I just, oh my gosh, the graphic design and all the art program. I mean, there was just tons of kids, and they were excellent.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of more of a music geek, so I did take some music theory classes at UT, and I was just transferring everything, knowledge of guitar and piano to music theory, but still wasn't really quite clicking. So Middle Tennessee State does have a recording industry program down there. So I ended up majoring in their music production, but really kind of more emphasis in music business. I find those classes were just a little bit more tangible. And so starting about 2008, that put me in the area. And then while I was in college, I worked part-time for Universal Music Group in Nashville, doing as a college street rep. So I'd have to go to Grimey's, and I'd go to other, Lightning 100.
Oh, that's
and
great
just
networking.
Go to, just kind of
life
give away
experience.
contacts. Yeah, I think so. We get a bunch of free stuff in the mail, like promo CDs, stickers, posters, some concert tickets and whatever. So I have to set up enter to win contest, and so it's fun. So I got to meet a lot of people from that, and that definitely kind of gave me a little bit of the business side, forcing me out there to learn some of that part of the equation. And so, but then once I graduated from college in 2010, spent a little time in Atlanta and some bands, but really by 2011 I was in Nashville full time, and I was also, once I moved to Nashville full time, I was working at United Record Pressing where they make vinyl records. And
fantastic.
And it was fun. I kind of worked in the warehouse in a windowless cubicle doing accounting, and you can imagine I was not a great accountant, and staying out all night, going to shows and just trying to meet people and players. And so I thought, like, oh, well, vinyl records, that's in the music business.
Sure.
Sort of,
it's adjacent,
but
and you probably meet some interesting people because all the indie artists come in.
Yeah, so it was definitely good. I got a lot of great records.
Vinyl had a big resurgence at one point, so you probably were meeting all the indie artists and stuff, and that's like, that's where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah, thank
Those
you.
are the people that are trying to get out there and do shit.
Yeah, so it's definitely fun, and I could get records at wholesale prices, so I definitely would spend half my paycheck right back there buying, a bunch of new records, and that was fun. But really, the music bug was always in it for me. And then by then, I started to meet a couple people and started to play downtown. I would join Facebook groups, and anyone that was go to auditions, and started to play bass and just to learn anything to try to stay busy somehow. And to network.
Whatever the question is, the answer is yes, and then you figure it out later.
Absolutely. It's like you play bass. Yeah, sure. I don't even own a bass. oh crap. And then I remember showing up to my first audition for bass and starting to be like, oh yeah, I mean, it's just like guitar with 4 strings, right? And then starting to play a song like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I passed the audition. Okay, sweet. So it's definitely was a huge learning process, and really playing downtown and playing at Lower Broadway and learning how to play songs that I don't know how to play on guitar or bass, and was a huge learning experience.
You got to think on your feet.
Yep, and I definitely fell.
You're getting stuff thrown at you all the time, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and definitely fell flat on my face several times. But from those moments, I mean, they're burned in my brain. The worst moments that I had of songs that I didn't know, or just trying to not burn too many bridges, and just to stay positive and to radiate the positivity of the whole community.
That's really the thing, because when you get to a certain level, everybody's good, and then it's about, I mean, who do you want to hang out with?
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you want to be in a band with?
Yes, and I definitely remember really kind of getting to the mix here in Nashville and realizing, oh, well, no one's better or worse, they're just different. So being that unique version of yourself is the most valuable thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of carve out whatever the heck that I was. Because my first couple of gigs down in Lower Broadway, I thought like, oh, I need to play this way. I need a telly and a deluxe reverb and a compressor, and I need to learn all these licks. And my gigs didn't really go that great. And then after a few of them, I had a couple extra drinks, and then I was like, well, no, I play like this. And I played more like myself, and everyone was like, oh, wow, Ricky, you played so great. I'm like, oh, I've always played this way. I guess I'll just play the way I play.
I know it sounds kind of woo, but I've found that the universe tends to put you where it needs you.
Yes, And we were playing so much downtown, and kind of making a little bit more money doing that, and that began to take priority. But for me, I always felt I should not put all my eggs in one basket. I shouldn't really pigeonhole myself in any one particular way. So I did want to play as many artists as possible and be part of the community of the downtown scene in Nashville, or try to get into sessions on Music Row, or get into the indie scene in East Nashville, and to try to be a part of it all. I felt was important, and there's definitely hiccups along the way, and people thought like, oh no, just stick in your lane, dude. But I really felt we're all trying to get to the same place, so let's all get to know each other and cheer each other on.
You said you were studying with Chris Casello.
Yes, I started taking lessons with Chris a couple times.
Like jump, blues, swing, rockabilly player.
Oh, absolutely.
I know some chords.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I think if I may paraphrase with Chris, in the 80s when a lot of people went Eddie Van Halen, I think he went Brian Setzer.
Yeah.
And learning all that in the Chet Atkins way, and like, holy crap, man. I mean, you sound like 3 or 4 players all at once at the same time with the, chicken picking, but also the counter melodies and stuff that Chet could do in such a brilliant way. And Chris just has a brilliant mind, and is such a great teacher, and has been very patient, and he can play everything under the sun, man. It's like so inspiring. I mean, my jaw is on the floor watching him. But yeah, guys like Go Through Trap and Dale Gennaro and JD Simo, and gosh, the list just goes on and on. And great players like you, man, that come in with a great vocabulary and can learn the parts and be able to, play them back. That is a huge skill set as well, because I feel like a lot of players, oh, sure, I can learn this song, but I didn't quite learn the parts. It didn't really go that extra mile into nailing the feel and obviously like correct tone, but the approach beyond that, because, we can learn, parts of like, but there's a lot more to it than just learning that melody. So I've always enjoyed your playing for that, because you can learn, you do find those intricacies and those details that are so important, really selling it and creating the smooth technique with being able to mirror each different style. And of course, yes, we're saying it being your own unique version of yourself is great, but also being able to mirror back others is a huge skill set as well. And not because you can't do that, it's showing that you can mirror it back, but then you can also create your own version.
Bring your own thing to it.
I think that's really cool.
Well, what I tell my students is that you should always be singing.
Cool.
If you approach it from that, perspective, then whatever you're doing, it's going to sound more like music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I caught up with you playing with Gyasi,
Yes,
who
absolutely.
of course is a real phenomenon. If you're not familiar with him, definitely seek him out. It's spelled Gyasi. And
Yeah, he really is a great songwriter, and it's something, his songwriting is something that I've appreciated more and more over the years. And I met Gyasi, we were both playing for a different artist, songwriter.
yeah, how did you
And
guys hook up?
we had met briefly, I think in Nashville, but Jossie's from West Virginia, and I was on tour with an artist, and we played in West Virginia in his hometown, and he walked through the parking lot. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? And
That was my reaction to him. I actually saw him,
Yeah.
the first time I saw him, he was playing gypsy jazz at
Oh,
Rudy's.
great. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, who is that? That's not
Yeah.
what you expect to see
No,
in
yeah.
Rudy's.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Probably not in West Virginia either.
Yeah, no, not at all. And so, but he had all the bluegrass chops and the
Delta
Django,
blues and-
yeah, chops, yeah, and those blues chops. But then he loves the glam rock, classic rock stuff, and so we just hit it off there. And so meeting him I feel like I really connected with him in West Virginia, and then we went over to the farm cabin thing where he grew up. Which is like this beautiful, idealistic community, that's like off the grid and their own electricity and running water. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful place. And so he was eventually kind of moving back to Nashville and putting a band together. And we played shows off and on. I have a Facebook memory from about 2014 of us playing at, I think it was called Foo Bar at the time, it's now Cobra. And with I think Dylan from
Yeah, it was a great divey rock bar.
yeah,
Nashville.
and so we and I have been playing off and on, and then he was just getting all of his ducks in a row and meeting people and doing more recordings and getting the albums and getting out there. And so I was always a friend and a fan, and I would play bass or guitar or just go out to see him. And then he had a residency at Electric Jane for a while.
Right, yeah, that's what I came and saw. You guys were doing
Great.
like peak Ziggy
Yeah,
in
thank
like
you.
kind of like a cabaret environment.
Yeah, thank you. So he
It
would
was
do
like,
his...
it was like almost surreal.
Yeah, it was great. It was such a great gig because it was basically I had paid rehearsals. We would be
you
there
would play
every
every week.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was great. So the band got so tight, and we'd play our originals every weekend, get paid, food, and so the band got really great. Yeah, we just got to play all the time, and Gyasi would do his bluegrass and blues, acoustic Delta blues, one set of just that, and then he'd go into full Ziggy mode, and we'd do 2 sets of that, so just a full range of versatility.
He's got a new album out, Here Comes the Good Part.
Yes.
So you played on that too, right?
I did, yes. Yeah, we recorded a lot of that at a studio called Pentaveret with a producer, Bobby Holland.
Yep.
It was really great, and I don't think I've played on every song, but I played on the majority of it, and he was really great to let me. I mean, Gyasi's fully capable of handling all the guitar solos.
Yeah, I
but
was sort of about to say he's a great guitar player
Oh,
too.
absolutely, yeah.
So how did you guys divvy things up? Was it just song by song or?
Yeah, kind of song by song, and if it was a song that we had previously played live, we would just, basically do our live version or, break it up with layers and overdubs. But then a lot of it was brand new material, so we would just do basic
cool.
tracks and then just take it wherever it needed from there. And he was just so kind and just to let me have my say or if he would take it, in his version or way. So it was really great. And we also did a lot of sessions at Blackbird Academy as well, which was a lot of fun because we would get to go in there for a week and sure we'd be guinea pigs for the students there, but we'd get a whole week versus a whole week of recording there. And so we would just try new things out there. And so we did a lot of really, really great stuff out of that. Then one day, kind of out of the blue, I got this call to join Grace Potter Band. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's been about 2 years for me playing with Grace, and I'll still play with Gyasi whenever I can, and we may hopefully I'll get to join him in Europe later this year, and I did go on a Europe tour with him last year, and that was a lot of fun, haven't had
Yeah,
chance
yeah,
to
I
play
saw
with-
it on your socials.
Yeah,
We played a
excited
lot
for
of the
that.
same cities.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
you guys
great, yeah.
look like you were having a lot more fun.
Oh, really? Oh,
than-
man. Of course, love it here in Tennessee, but yeah, Europe's just so amazing.
Yeah.
And
It's a whole other kettle of fish.
yeah, and so, but playing with Grace has been absolutely incredible. We've gotten to play some really great venues, and we just played with the symphony earlier this year, and
And
we've got
opening for Chris Stapleton.
yeah, we got
Fantastic.
yeah, we did that last year, and we have a couple more shows with Chris Stapleton next month, and really excited about those. And it's been really great to have a crew and be on a bus and all that. I've just gotten completely spoiled, but at the same time, the responsibility of showing up. If they have all these other responsibilities that are already taken care of, well, then I can focus that much more on the music and making sure that is
That's great.
everything that it could be and should be.
Yeah.
So using that, hopefully, I guess, leverage in a way that I don't, worry about all the things like, oh, everyone, please come out to the show, or I got to go hand out flyers, I got to create a Facebook event, or I got to go settle up, or we got to go.
You got to
drive
wear a
Lake
lot of
City.
hats.
Yeah, and all that, and just loves to have fun, and she's got a great repertoire of songs, and she and I are just going up there and battling it out all the time, and she lets me take a lot of solos, and we definitely pass them around, and learning to play her songs, and then learning to play with her, because she loves to just jam and change the key and change the arrangement. Like every show's different every night, never the same. And it's just so much. It's just riding that roller coaster of wherever she's going to go, and then we start jamming and meddling songs into one another, and I'll just go to brand new places, and she'll always land on her feet, and just like, wow, we went
she's been at it for a while.
far out there, and then we're somehow able to come right back. So.
That's amazing. I couldn't think of a better fit. I mean, she's got a real kind of like West Coast, Jefferson Airplane, Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah. Yeah, Janis Joplin.
Kind of Janis Joplin vibe. Yeah. I noticed that the record, it's very produced as opposed to the live thing. The live thing seems to be like a lot more spare and stripped down.
Oh, yes, definitely.
There's a lot more space in it. Does she give you a lot of leeway to sort of come up with your own interpretation?
She does, and I just try to learn as much as possible, and just like, okay, play this part, or play this other part, or play something completely different. So sometimes I just try to learn it all and play what I can, but for the most part, she absolutely lets us do our own interpretation of it, because it is about creating that moment and that intimacy and the immediacy of the moment of that gig and this show right now, and like, if we're feeling, tired from the night before or something, or if we're more excited or rested or whatever. So it's always just constant, just flowing and growing and just, shape shifting, a band and atmosphere.
That kind of aesthetic is only going to grow in value because so much, content now is canned. And, I look at my Instagram feed and I see all these reels of guys just playing just perfectly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And
of course.
It's probably take 50 or they're like, or they're miming or something. And I feel this unconscious pressure to be like that. It's almost like unrealistic beauty standards or whatever.
Oh, sure.
So the kind of thing where it's presence and you have to go to a place, buy a seat, and sit your ass in it to experience it.
Yeah, I hope so, and that it is organically growing, and, we're taking chances, and sometimes it'll reach other, heights and get so lost in the woods, or other times, we'll just light the whole thing on fire and watch it burn down and just like enjoy the beauty of just watching the whole thing just go up
destruction.
in flames. And taking those chances, and Grace is definitely very earthy, and loves to kick her shoes off and play dirty, in the mud, and just go back and then and somehow land on her feet.
When you guys were in the UK, you met Jimmy Page. How did that come about?
Yeah, thank you. Well, actually, we met him. Technically, it was in the UK. We were on British soil, but we were on the British Embassy in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a Lifetime Achievement Award for just Jimmy. So a couple years ago, there was the Kennedy Center Awards, and where they honored Led Zeppelin, and all that.
So Hart played, and
they had a big choir and everything. So it was a similar type of event, but much more private. And I think the same beneficiaries that hosted that event also hosted this similar event, and they're big Grace Potter fans, and so this was a private dinner at the British Embassy, and we played in this banquet hall room that really wasn't that big. Definitely don't have shows in there regularly, and we just had a pretty small stage, but yeah, we had her, him and B3 and Leslie on there, and full drum kit, and I had her normal back lines, 59 Basement reissue. Just barely, just like on one, just enough to get loud, barely, just barely, because it was immediately just like, bah! So loud. And
that's
like,
a big amp.
Please turn it down.
Yeah,
it's like we're trying to play Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, so you got to play Led Zeppelin for Jimmy Page.
Yes, So that was quite an honor and a challenge. And when it was happening, I was like, don't look at him. He's sitting right here, but I can't look at him.
I know the feeling because, I've been hired by Brian May a few times for different things.
Absolutely. It's awesome.
I'm even starting to look like him weirdly as I get older. You too. I mean, the first time I saw you with a tip, I was like, it's Jimmy Page. It must have been like seeing a younger version of himself.
I hope so. I definitely. We played 3 songs. It started out where it was a dinner, so everyone had dinner, and then they gave some speeches, and even Jimmy gave a speech and talked about his life and basically skiffle, and then session work and Yardbirds, Zeppelin, and then the rest. And they they presented this Lifetime Achievement Award to him, and they're like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, now Grace Potter. And so we played 3 songs. We played 2 of her own, and then we finished with Whole Lotta Love. And so to kick in a Whole Lotta Love right in front of Jimmy Page, and it was like, oh man, wow. I've been practicing this for so long.
Yeah, I've been preparing for this for my whole life.
Yeah, it's preparing for this moment for all my life. Yeah. And because I definitely remember, this is kind of funny, random thing, but right when, because I started playing guitar, I think in probably 98 or something, and then whenever the millennium happened, yes, I had this guitar, and right as New Year's Eve happened, I was like, oh, now we're in the new millennium. What's the first song I'm going to play? Yeah.
let's get the right sound. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got him in your bones.
Thank you. That was something like that. So to play that in front of him was, just a tremendous honor. And I really wanted to stretch out the middle section and get the spacey delay. Of course, didn't have my theremin possible, but...
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you got it.
Fun stuff.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and he was great. And I mean, so we played it. I was just in the green room, just practicing that a million times. Just like, I have to nail this. I would think that he would want to hear it. Yes, we could do our own interpretation of that, but also one thing that when we were rehearsing it, we're like, well, how do we end it? It just kind of fades out, but I was like, well, actually, they used to do it this way, and they used to do it
right.
that.
Like the song remains the same version with a live ending.
Yes. And so the 68,
yeah, you probably know all of them, like every bootleg.
The BBC sessions.
Just pick one.
Exactly. So I thought, like, okay, well, they do this, cool chromatic, or diminished walk down the.
Yeah. He must have loved that.
I hope so, because when we got done, we ushered off, and then they, had dessert or something, and then we eventually walked out there, and Grace did introduce us, and I was like, thank you for all the tremendous music and everything. And I wanted to ask him a million questions. I was like, what about Lucifer Rising? What about using high watt amps? What about this and that and the other, and the Black Rose, and dude, I mean everything. But I also kind of wanted him to drive the conversation.
Yeah.
And so he was like, well done. And I was like, dude, I'm good. Yeah, take me now, God. I'm good. Take me now. And so I'm also like, but who wouldn't be? So he was also like, all right, what you got, kid? Like, give me something to work with, because I'm just like, you remember that time you were Led Zeppelin? That was awesome. Just trying to Chris Farley show. And so he was like, oh yeah, the middle section in A Lot of Love. And I was like, oh yes, yeah. Didn't have my theremin, Jimmy, but I tried to get the spacey, and it's like, oh yes, well. And he actually kind of said a similar little speech to me then, and there in the moment, that is also in the new Led Zeppelin documentary, where he talks about, detuning
Which is awesome,
the guitar, and then he's like, pulling the strings, physically pulling the strings, and all that, and changing with the delay, and I'm just like, tell me more. But Grace also did say to him, well, Jimmy, we played Ricky's arrangement of Whole Lotta Love. And he was like, oh, yes, all the various versions from the studio version, and then ending with that diminished walk down that to me was so important. And of a good, because it's a good solid ending, because we could have done the BBC, we could have medleyed into other things.
This is his talking. This is him talking.
Yes,
Awesome.
So he's like, oh yes, all the various versions.
So he picked up on it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He heard all of that, and then he just wanted to talk to me about the, Maestro delay. Like, let's go, dude. Yeah. But I honestly had about 60 seconds of his time, and then the photographers were like, oh, let's get a picture, and then the rest is history. And then then another thing was
real bucket list
that
shit.
because of course, so we get pictures and everything, and then we're all just kind of mingling and other people, because the entire room in this place is like all focused on him and wanting to get his attention. And so he was standing, and the way that this rug was, his foot was actually slightly underneath the rug. And so right when I noticed that, he was in the middle of a conversation, and I was like, oh no, do I interrupt him and tell him that he needs to move his foot from underneath his rug in case he might fall, or do I not, or what do I do? And then right as I'm debating that, for that split second in my mind, then someone else comes in and like, oh, Jimmy, nice to meet you. Yeah. And he takes a step forward, and he does trip on the rug.
Oh, no.
And so Jimmy's right here. I'm right here. Our drummer, Jordan, is here, and I think India, our rhythm player, is on his other side. So we all go to grab him, and I'm so close, I grabbed underneath his arm and grabbed his chest and felt his chest muscles on, kind of propped him up, and our others kind of grabbed his arms on both sides to get him up, and then he turns to us and he's like, oh, thank you. If you didn't catch me, I would have been going to meet the Grim Reaper. And I was
God.
Oh, I stood in front of Jimmy Page and the Grim Reaper in the same room. What? Oh, no way.
Take me now.
Yeah,
God.
take me now. Yeah. And so, but he was so cool, and we could have absolutely talked gear and music, and he was very complimentary to Grace and Grace's husband, Eric Valentine, and he told Grace, if I was still making records nowadays, they would sound like your husband, Eric Valentine's records.
Amazing.
Which is really cool. And Eric's records, he's produced a lot of Grace's more recent records and solo records. But he's also done cool stuff of Queens of the Stone Age and a lot of great bands. And his records are definitely very, very hyper-realized, and they're produced, but in a way, but he loves cool, fuzzy, weird textural sounds, but can make these fully realized pictures and sound pictures.
Amazing.
And so I thought they had a really great time, and to get to just see Jimmy in the flesh was amazing, and then it was just a tremendous honor to play in front of him, and then to have to play Led Zeppelin songs in front of him was just a tremendous responsibility, but also just like, yeah, A Whole Lot of Love was one of the first tunes I learned. It's the first song I played in this millennia, so I was just so thrilled. And then I went to bed that night and then woke up the next morning and like, did that really happen? I checked my phone, and was like, oh my God, that really did happen. No way.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Because it sounds like a dream.
Yeah, it was like, it's one of those things. And so that next day I just turned to Grace and I was like, thank you so much. This was such a dream, come true. And what an honor just to play in your band, Grace, but also to have this, to have her give me the responsibility of playing those songs and in that moment with him, and then for me to kind of lead the band through a lot of the changes.
Well, the fact is that you're the right guy for the job. Once again, it's like the universe just put you where it needed you. Anyway, so that's Ricky from Grace Potter's band. It was so great to have you on the show.
Thank you for coming by. Yeah, thank you, friend.
And I'll see you somewhere down the road.
Absolutely, man. Rock and roll.
Peace.